This is a goblet squat. So this is a compound exercise. So you are going to be using your entire body to perform it, but you will primarily feel your quads, probably a little bit in your glutes. To set it up, you can use either a dumbbell or a kettlebell, whatever you have access to. So your feet position are going to be somewhere between hip and shoulder width apart. I personally am comfortable around shoulder width apart. The dumbbell is going to stick right in front of your body here. Elbows are going to stay glued to your side. On the way down, you should feel yourself resisting the weight on the way down, driving through your feet, straight through the ground to stand all the way back up. Resist the weight on the way down, drive your feet through the ground on the way up. Some common errors that you may see in this exercise, or that I have seen in this exercise. Starting from a top-down approach, we're going to look at the head and the neck position first. So oftentimes when people are doing this exercise, when they start the descent of it or going down, their head will throw back. Oftentimes it may stay back or it will drop forward with the shoulders rounding forward. So you want to act as if there is an orange or a tennis ball, like right here underneath your neck. You want to hold it tight the entire time. This position is going to keep your back and head in a neutral position. So that's number one. The second one is oftentimes people's core will not turn on, which doing any kind of front-loaded squat is going to help with that anyways. But you will often see when people go down, their core is not on, their ribs are going to flare out. They're going to have a big arch in their lower back and keep it the entire time. So that is the second common error. You want to make sure your ribs are driving down towards your hip bones. Just doing this position, you should feel your tummy turn on naturally. So you want to make sure that this is what that looks like when that is actually happening. Ribs are going down towards our hip bones. My core is on. I'm holding that position the entire time, keeping that neutral position in my back and my neck. The third common error is people's knees caving in. So dependent on where you put your feet in your foot position for this squat, and this is any squat, but since we're talking about this one, we're going to keep this one. You want to make sure that your knees are following the position of your feet. So if you bring your feet out wider, your knees have to follow that. Oftentimes you will see people's knees caving in this way. If they were following the position of my feet, they're going to come out and stay out the entire time. So knees staying in line with my toes all the way up. My biggest tip for this exercise, or a different way to think about it when you're doing it, is everything is flexing and extending together, and everything being your ankles, your knees, and your hips. So oftentimes people will kind of split it up into broken parts, and they might come down and then lift their butt first and then stand all the way up tall. When that's happening, if I'm down at the bottom of the squat and I lift my butt first, now my knees may have extended, but my hips didn't extend. So there's no way these can be extending together if one is happening before the other. So we're going to flex at our knees, our ankles, and our hips at the same time on the way down. Same thing on the way up. Everything is going to extend at the same time. Nothing is lifting or dropping or moving in other places while other things are staying still. So that is my biggest tip for that. If you notice that your torso is coming forward a little bit more, that isn't necessarily wrong. This is the case for me as well. So if I have a dumbbell in my hands, my torso may be coming more forward, but I still have a neutral position in my head and in my back, but I'm hindered in my ankle mobility. So one thing that may help you in that case is elevating your heels. So if that is the case for you, go and check out that video because it may be a better fit for you.